Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are doing fine at your homes. So today we will do about types of changes. So types of changes. How many types of changes are there? The basic types of changes are the physical and chemical changes. The physical changes. So we are just going to learn the basic differences between these two types of changes and we are going to study some of the examples. Okay. So first is physical changes. The physical changes are temporary and reversible. They are temporary and reversible. That means whatever the thing is formed, you can change it back into its original substance. That means it is temporary as well as reversible. And here in chemical changes, it is permanent and irreversible. Once done, you cannot change it back. That means it is irreversible. You cannot reverse it again. Okay. So next, in physical changes, no new substance is formed. In physical changes, there is no new substance formed. The reactants and the products can change their positions, but no new substance is going to get formed in physical changes. Whereas in chemical changes, two or more new substances are formed. That means different chemicals react and they are forming something new. Some new kind of substance is getting formed in chemical changes. So what do you understand by the term composition? Composition means ingredients. Okay. So if new substance is getting formed in physical changes, then that means its ingredients are getting changed. Its composition is getting changed. Sorry, it is not getting changed. There is no new substance forming, no. If no new substance is forming, that means there is no change in the composition. Okay. And here, if new substances are getting formed, that means the composition is also going to change. Okay. So in chemical changes, the composition also changes. So let's now do some examples. First is breaking of glass plate. Okay. The main thing, first thing you need to understand is that from these 2 points, from these 2 conditions, one condition needs to get followed strictly. Okay. You can there is also possibility that in some cases both of the conditions get followed. किसी में दोनों follow हो जाती हैं, but in some cases not 2 of them gets followed, but one of them to be followed is necessary. Okay, any one of them. So just in case, in the first example, breaking of glass plate. When we break a glass plate, what happens? It breaks into pieces. When it breaks into pieces, this type of change cannot be reversed. आप उसको दोबारा से एक प्लेट में तो नहीं change कर सकते ना. That means it is irreversible. Okay, that means first condition is not getting followed. First condition is not getting followed, so this condition needs to be followed. So when we break a glass plate, no new substance is formed. जो प्लेट्स जो पीसीज हैं उनकी कॉम्पोजिशन तो सेम रही ना, कुछ नया तो नहीं बना, नथिंग न्यू इज फॉर्म्ड. सो दिस कंडीशन इज गेटिंग फॉलोड. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज अ फिजिकल चेंज. एंड सेकेंड इज मेल्टिंग ऑफ आइस. व्हेन वी टेक सम वाटर, we freeze it, we put it in the freezer, it changes to ice. And what if I change the conditions? I put out the ice from freezer and again put it at the room temperature. What will happen? It will again change into water. That means it reversed its position. It is a reversible process and also no new substance is formed in this. So in this case, both of the conditions are getting followed. That is why it is a physical change. Okay, so these were the examples of physical change. Now in chemical change, first one is digestion of food. So digestion of food, what happens when you eat carbohydrates, when you eat a chapati? Okay, if you have eaten a chapati without anything, just a chapati, what you feel is in the end you will feel some sweetness. If you eat alone chapati, you will feel some sweetness at the end. Okay, why so? Because chapati is carbohydrate. It is a carbohydrate, and when we eat any carbohydrate, in our mouth there is saliva. On mixing with saliva, the carbohydrate will break down into starch and sugar. It will break down into sugar. That is why we feel sweetness. So once we have eaten the chapati, once we are done with our food, can we change it back to the normal food again? No. It is an irreversible process. It is a permanent process. Once done, it cannot be changed back. Okay. So this condition got followed, and also 2 or more new substances are formed. When the carbohydrates are broken down, the new substances are getting formed now, the starch and sugar. So that is why it is a chemical change. The same with the rusting of iron. In rusting of iron, what happens? We have an iron rod. When it reacts with oxygen, जब oxygen के साथ react होता है, it forms rust. उस पे rust लग जाती है, ठीक है? So when an iron undergoes rusting, it cannot be changed back. वो दोबारा से normal iron में नहीं change हो सकती. And also new substance, rust बना है ना, तो it is a new substance being formed. So that is why the both conditions are getting followed here. That is why rusting is a chemical change. Okay. So these are the basic differences between chemical changes and physical changes. In your surroundings also you can see many examples of physical as well as chemical changes. Okay. So I hope you understand it. Thank you very much.